Okay, Sam the Gunman, my nephew, everybody's favorite segment, Stump My Nephew. Everybody knows the rules, one bite. So seal1.com. Go to seal1.com. They're the sponsor. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Okay, Jack from Portland writes, the first recorded use of gunpowder in warfare occurred in China around 1000 AD, where it was used to propel grenades and fire arrows. But before its use in warfare, gunpowder was used medically. Name a medical use of gunpowder.
Jack from Portland. Don't know if it's Portland, Oregon or Portland, Maine. Thanks for writing in. What was the first medical use of gunpowder?
Yeah.
Now that's an interesting one. The first of all, the gunpowder that was used back then is most of you know it's not the same as gunpowder now. What we have now is a nitrocellulose based or something similar to nitrocellulose based smokeless powder. But the gunpowder they had back then was made of charcoal, sulfur, and potassium nitrate, or saltpeter, as it was called in antiquity. Now, as for medical uses, I'm not a doctor. I'm not your doctor. Don't take this as medical advice. I'm not super familiar with uses of gunpowder, medical uses of gunpowder, but I have heard before that you can use it to cauterize wounds because it burns so rapidly. I don't know how correct that might be. I know sulfur has its own medicinal purposes, and charcoal has medicinal purposes. In fact, it's still used to reduce risk of injury from poisoning. There are charcoal tablets for that. But yeah, the only thing I can think of offhand is cauterizing wounds. Maybe that's all I've got.
Well, if you've seen Rambo 3, you know that they absolutely can use gunpowder to cauterize a wound. I'm sure that everything that happened in Rambo 3 was medically accurate.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't it be? But that is one of the things listed. I read a little bit about it. Don't do that. Do not recommend that people cauterize wounds using gunpowder. In fact, I read a lot of articles that said that yes, they used to do it, but especially these days with modern gunpowder, you're probably going to do more harm than good. But that is one. One of the others is they used to use it to treat burns. They used to use it to make skin grafts. And then the other is, I guess it is a painkiller as well, like a topical painkiller that whatever it was made of. What all was it made of before?
It's a roughly 5-to-1 mixture by volume of potassium nitrate, sulfur, and charcoal.
So apparently, if you put that on something that hurts, it'll help it not hurt anymore. I don't know what piece of that, but that seemed to be the most reliable, legitimate use of what gunpowder used to be. Is they used to use it as a painkiller.
Well, there are other types of, I guess you could say, dangerous substances that do have legitimate medical uses. Nitroglycerin is a notable example. It was used as a blasting explosive in the American West when they were working on mining operations and working on the Transcontinental Railroad. But many people know that it also has use as a heart medication.
There you go. Or
now,
you can gas up your funny car with
it. Using any type of gunpowder, smokeless or black powder, to cauterize a wound definitely falls within that category of it's safe to advise no one to do it it's safe to advise that no one should do that under any circumstances, because the very few people who know how to do it correctly know that that doesn't apply to them. Same with chest darts for relieving tension pneumothorax. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to be Mr. Cool operator trauma medic guy with chest darts in my trauma kit. If you don't know how to use them, you will cause worse problems. Don't do that. Don't try to cauterize wounds with gunpowder.
There you go. When I first read it, I figured it was, I don't know, I thought it might be like a toothpaste. You know, they use baking soda for toothpaste. Thought maybe that gunpowder might. You're looking at me like I'm.
Well, you could use I guess you could use the charcoal. I've heard of
There you go.
charcoal being used in toothpaste, but
It's a tooth
not
whitener.
as mixed gunpowder. I don't think you should do it with the complete finished product.
That's true. All right, my friend. Awesome job. You got it right. You picked one of the medical uses of gunpowder that was used mostly by China. It looked like China really had I read a little bit about this. This was an interesting question from Jack in Portland. China really had the gunpowder market cornered for a long time, and it was the silk. What was it? The Silk Road. You know, the trading route that helped it spread across Asia and into Africa and Europe, and of course, eventually into America from Europe. But man, the Chinese really nailed it. They used it for fireworks and explosives, and for projectiles and for like grenade, early grenade, and when it comes to warfare. But the Chinese really, really, really had gunpowder, that entire market cornered for centuries, which is pretty
Fireworks
amazing.
as well.
Fireworks as well.
They invented a form of paper and they invented gunpowder. So put them together, fireworks. They had those.
And pasta. And pasta and tomatoes, too. Did you know that? Like, I swear, Italy owes their entire cuisine to
China?
To China.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, the tomatoes aren't Chinese. Tomatoes are a New World crop.
Oh, I thought they were. I thought that China was using tomatoes, some version of tomatoes. I know I read that Jefferson was the first guy to start growing tomatoes and using them, as food. That people. I guess a lot of nightshades are poisonous.
Yeah, tomatoes and potatoes, both being related to nightshade. In fact, tomatoes and potatoes are pretty closely related to each other, but they're both from I believe, the same family as nightshade. So people kind of didn't trust them a whole lot early on, but of course they're ubiquitous now.
There you go. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm Michael from Gun Owners Radio. If you liked what you saw, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and make a comment. Help us out. Go to gunownersradio.com. Thanks for watching.